Up next on Sci-Fi Fantasy, Greenstrawberry's Junior Basic PE Sets. Hey everybody, it's Kenny Conklin from Sci-Fi Fantasy, a part of HobbyLinkInternational.com. Hopefully everybody's doing well, and we're going to hit up another Greenstrawberry review tonight. Again, as always, I'd like to thank Lucas and Susanna from Greenstrawberry for sending over the products. This way we can check them out and we can show them to you in video form. And if you haven't yet, please hit that like and subscribe button. This way you know every time there's a video up, either you'll see a build or you'll see a review of some type, and a lot of reviews from Greenstrawberry because they have excellent products. Tonight we're going to take a look at 3 of their Junior Basic sets. These are PE sets, and the meaning behind the Junior Basic set is they are smaller PE sets. So that's for people that don't want to go crazy with a whole lot of PE, but they want to add that little bit of enhancement to their build. Or better yet, it's for those people that are just getting into Photoetch and are a little scared to buy the bigger set because they've never worked on Photoetch before. So these give you an opportunity to work on smaller parts, maybe a little bending, some added detail to the ship, and it'll get your feet wet using Photoetch. So enough about these. Let's get over to the bench, or right here, and check out these 3 products. So today we're going to be looking at 3 PE sets from Greenstrawberry. They're all in 1/72 scale, and they're all for Bandai Star Wars kits. We're going to look at the A-Wing, which I have in my hand, the Y-Wing, and also the X-Wing. I'm only going to go over the packaging once because it's all the same packaging. They come in the typical cellophane wrapper with the hard cardboard backing with your PE pieces in there. The cellophane wrapper pulls off back here, it's resealable. Has some information on the back and also the Greenstrawberry website that you can go check out. The first thing we'll look at in this kit is the instruction sheet. As always, this is a single sheet with front and back instructions on it. At the top, we'll show you what comes in the kit, your PE sheet, and a little piece of paper for backing the PE, and then it goes into a little icons here to let you know what's on the instructions, and then it goes into the instructions. I like that they show you what kit part it is, kit part C10, and then you go into all the cockpit detail that's here on the bottom. On the back of the sheet, you're going to go into the seat belts up here, and then you're going to go into some outer detail for the ship here, and then lastly for the inside of the engines you're going to have that grid work over here. So nice and clear instructions. Next up is the little sheet of paper, and this is meant for behind the control panels when you're using the PE. You'll use this if you're not going to light up your ship. It adds a little bit of color behind those PE parts. This way it looks like the instrumentation panel is lit up. If you're going to use SMDs, LEDs, or anything like that in your kit, you could either forego these or still put these in and light them up from behind. And this kit is for the A, and it comes with this one single fret of PE. And what you're going to get is you're going to get the grids for inside of the engines in the back. You'll put those in there. This is some outside detail, which you can see the extra detailing on the outside of the PE. The next 2 pieces next to it over here, I don't want to get my fingers in the way for you, that goes onto these first pieces for your exterior. On the top and sides over here, you're going to see the detailed PE for your cockpit, so you'll be able to get rid of the kit provided part and add this extra in there. And also for the seats, you're going to see the seat belts over here. So you're not going to really require too much bending except for the seat belts on this one. So this is a pretty good kit to start out with if you're just getting into PE. You're not really going to bend these too much, just to the contours of the seats. The next kit we're going to look at is the X-Wing, and again it's going to be the same packaging as before that we talked about, and the PE and other things inside. So let's open it up and show you what's in here. This is the instruction sheet for the X-Wing. It's a fold out little booklet. You have, as usual, your PE, your key, and then it starts with the ladder, and then we go into the cockpit, some exterior parts, more exterior parts, and some for underneath, and also for your engines down here. It's the typical Greenstrawberry instructions that are on a nice sheet of paper, detailed very well, but I'm going to step back a bit and we're going to go over this instruction sheet in a little more detail because I found a few flaws with this. Okay, we're gonna go over these directions in a little more detail. The ladder is fine, it shows you what to do. What I found on the inside is the mistakes that I'm not happy with these directions. So let me flip them over and show you that. Okay, on this page, the instructions for the engines, that's perfectly fine. What we're gonna be looking at is the instructions up here. We see where it says use kit decals over here, 45, 46, 49, and 50. We totally understand that that's the kit parts from the Bandai kit, but it doesn't make it clear as to where we are going to put those parts in here. With this part 1, that's decals from Greenstrawberry themselves, I'm pretty sure, because it's for part 11, and I looked at them and they fit this perfectly. I just don't know where really to put these other decals in here, or probably you're going to go by the Bandai instructions and put them where they belong. The next thing that I noticed on here is that 41 and 42, these are labeled incorrectly. When you're doing this and you grind out the old parts or cut out the old parts to put these two on, these are actually parts 12 and 13. What you want to do is you want to look at what the part looks like and make sure you put them on the right side of the cockpit. So when you're reading these instructions, do not go crazy looking for parts 41 and 42 because you're not going to find them on the PE tree. You're going to be looking for parts 12 and 13 for here. And the last part that we're going to take a look at is this is part 14 over here, which has these little slots on it, so you're going to bend it over. But this is part 46, and going by the color chart for 46, there is no 46 on the PE either. So I'm unsure if this goes back to back with 16, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like 16 goes inside the ship for that little bit of added detail, and this part would go here covering it. But if it's me building it, I'm not going to put the inside PE if I'm just going to cover it with this piece of PE. So watch out for this 46. I really don't understand what that part is either because it's not on the PE tree. If that is part 46 on the Bandai kit, it's matched up with the same color as a PE color. This should be different, but I don't think this is a Bandai part. So Greenstrawberry is going to have to go back, look at these instructions and fix them up. This way the customer doesn't get confused about what goes to where on these directions. The kit includes this little piece of paper sheet that you can cut out and put behind the PE for lighting your kit, and even if you don't light it, it'll show up somewhat. This way you have that little bit of extra detail behind the PE, making it look like the guidance system for the torpedoes or missiles, whatever you want to call them. Next up in the kit is this small decal sheet. This is used for part 11 on the PE sheet. They give you 2 sets. The top one will actually fit on the PE while it's unfolded. The second one looks like it's either if you mess this one up by accident or after you fold it, you want to cut these out to size and put them on the PE. But they both look like they fit the same part. Again, within the instructions, it really doesn't show you decal 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm assuming decal 1 on the instructions is to put it on that PE first. 2, 3, and 4 are if you already bent it, and then you're going to put these decals on next. Again, this kit comes with a single PE sheet, as you can see here, and it's got a lot of things packed on this small little sheet. You also have the engine nozzles up here and down at the bottom over here. That's for your front and back. You have your ladder, your steps, your platforms for your ladder, also some little detailing for underneath the ship, and then you have your interior detailing for your cockpit over here, your control panels, and 12 and 13 are in the middle. And remember to watch on the instructions that those are labeled wrong. There's no 12 and 13 on the instructions. I think it was 41 and 42 that you want to put those in there. And then up top you have some more little detail. Those are part 17. There's 4 of those that you fold over and you put in. So this one's a little more advanced than the A-wing that we just took a look at because there's more bending. You won't have to bend the engine nozzles or a lot of the cockpit things, but the ladder will include some bending and some of the underneath parts, and also those 2 exterior parts that we were looking at before, parts 14 and 16. Up next, in the last kit we're going to look at of the junior basic sets that we have from Greenstrawberry is the Y-wing. Again, same packaging as we talked about before. We'll open her up and show you what's on the inside. So again, we have the instruction sheet with your PE and your other pieces up here, your key, and then we start with the engines. I'm not going to separate this part of the video again, but we're going to go over deficiencies in this sheet of instructions also. Here again, I want you to ignore these numbers, 32 and 33 if you get these kits. This is labeled wrong again. On the PE sheet, 32 is actually 11 and 33 is actually part 12. Okay, the next part of the instruction sheet, these numbers are correct, 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, they're all right. And then also for the white sheet of paper I'm going to show you in a second, F, G, and H, they all go behind. It shows you the kit part number here. This section to me is a little jumbled. If you're going to do this, I would make this a little bigger and break it down, because I think the last page is blank on this instruction sheet, so they could have made it bigger. This is really, really tight and kind of a little difficult to understand. And also, this is the clear acetate on E. Seeing this part here, and I'm kind of confused as to what that part is without having the kit in hand. I'd have to look and see, but this is not showing me that it's anything to do with these. I'm not quite sure what this part is, so this one should be labeled kit part whatever, so we know where that clear piece of acetate goes. Here again, on the outside of the engines, I want you to ignore 24, 25, 24, 25, and 23. These numbers are incorrect again. On the PE, this part is actually part number 10. And this part here is parts 9 and 8, so you got to be careful. They look pretty similar on the PE, but again, the instructions are labeled wrong. So you're going to go crazy looking for parts 24 and 25 or thinking that you're missing a piece of PE when you're not. It's just that this is labeled wrong. And on the last page, page 4 and 5, they tell you this is kit parts A 28 and 29 for the nozzles. And again, ignore part 26, that is incorrect. On the PE sheet, it's actually part 13 for those. And down here, I want you to ignore parts 27 and 28. Those are parts 9 and 7. This would be part 7 and this is part 9. Actually, on the other page, I called out part 9 for another part on top of the engine nozzles over here. Unfortunately, both on the sheet look like a 9, and it's definitely a 9 on both of them, so you're going to have to go by the pictures here to see what the piece is. Again, you have the little sheet with the cutouts to put behind the interior and the electronics of the cockpit. These are colored, so even if you don't light up your ship, you'll be able to see them a little bit, and if you're lighting up your ship, the color will shine through and show the dials and stuff like that. This is the clear piece of acetate. Again, I called this out in the directions. It really doesn't make it clear as to where this goes. I'm thinking maybe it's the windows, but this also comes in the kit. So when you do get to this part, make sure you look at the Bandai instructions and see where this piece matches up. And this is the one sheet of PE that comes with the kit. This one may be a little more advanced because of the rolls here. Those are going to have to be rolled pretty perfectly to put inside. You have the rings for the engines, the engine nozzles. You also have your interior and exterior detail over here, which is very nicely detailed. There's nothing wrong with the PE at all. It'll enhance the kit very nicely. With your cockpit details, a lot of the PE gets put on top of the other. So you got to be careful doing that and make sure everything's okay. But as always with Greenstrawberry, the PE's very, very nicely done. Everything's crisp and clear. Okay, so those were all 1/72nd scale junior basic kits from Greenstrawberry for the A-Wing, the X-Wing, and the Y-Wing fighters. So it's that time of the video. Let's get into the pros and cons of these kits. And as always, we're going to start off with the cons because we want to look at the bad stuff. Unlike the last video we did, we will have some cons for these kits. The A-Wing kit was fine. The X-Wing and the Y-Wing kits are the ones that we want to go over. The biggest con, again, is with the directions. There needs to be a little more quality control over the directions and make sure that all the numbers line up with what they're supposed to be, especially with the PE numbers being so far off. It's a common mistake. It happens. It's a typo. It's no big deal because the pictures will actually show you where they're going. And again, with the one on the Y-Wing, at the top where I was showing you the cockpit features, that's a little more jumbled up. I would again spread it out. That's always my usual complaint with Greenstrawberry's products, is nothing with the product themselves, it's with the directions, and that could be frustrating for a new builder using PE. So I would really look over those instructions very, very well before they went into the kit, just to make sure numbers are right, it doesn't look too jumbled up, and it's easy for the end user to see what they're doing when they're using these PE kits. So let's get into the pros of these 3 kits now that we've gone with the cons. The pros are, as always, the PE is top-notch. Everything is crisp and clean. These are great little kits, especially for those of you that don't want to spend a whole lot of money but just want to add those little enhancements to your build. All 3 of these kits will do it. They range from a very beginner kit with the A-wing with minor bending to a little more bending on the X-wing, and on the Y-wing, I think this one would be the most difficult bend. The X-wing has a lot of bends for the ladder, but the Y-wing with the tube, that circle, that's going to be a little more difficult. So, but all 3 of these, great products. The con, the directions, that would not stop me from buying these kits at all, because we're not buying it for the directions. You're not going to cut those up and slap them on your model for any reason at all. You're going to be using the PE inside of these. And like I said, even though the numbers are wrong and it's a little jumbled up, if you take your time, look at the pictures and match them up to the parts on here, you're not going to have a problem. Hopefully Green Strawberry gets on that and rectifies the problem with these instructions before they go out again on their next batch of these. And that's it for this video. We thank you for stopping by and checking out the review of the Green Strawberry Junior basic kits. And as always, we'd like to thank Lucas and Susanna for sending over the products from Green Strawberry for us to look at. This way we can show you and let you know what's good, bad, and different about the kits, and hopefully it's informative and you like the videos. If so, make sure you hit that thumbs up and give us a like, and please hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you with us. And don't forget, as I said in the last video, this week coming up, we're going to have 2 more reviews. We're going to have the TOS Viper, the Mark I Viper, the 1/32nd scale, and we're also going to have the Voyager. I'm saving the Voyager personally for last because that is my favorite ship. And on Green Strawberry's site, if you go over to greenstrawberry.cz, I know they have Green Days coming up soon, or if it hasn't already started, we'll be able to get their products on sale. Also, we just got in the price list from Green Strawberry, so we're going to take a look and see if we can afford some stuff to put on the HobbyLinkInternational.com site. This way we can get those products to you. You'd be able to order directly from us, but we'll keep you informed on that one. I hope everybody has a great night. Make sure you're taking care of yourself and being safe out there. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye.